likely to walk on this campus and feel comfortable. Sometimes we get comfortable talking to each other, having conversations with the congregation. But the tough work is in the discomfort of hearing from people who are going to tell you why they don't feel comfortable being in these spaces. The second thing, and Ayan and I were talking about this, we participated in Upper Bound programs. Well before somebody told us that we weren't college material, we already had it in our minds and we could come up in here and show out. Provide the babies in Inglewood with chances to experience this campus, to sit in these classes, to walk around these halls, and to feel comfortable sitting in spaces like this. We have to remind them that this is purpose for them, in spite of what the world may tell them. And then the third thing is that we need to celebrate the pursuit of academic excellence. Again, imagine how different our communities would be if we expended half of the amount of energy we do celebrating our babies who could dribble balls and sing songs. Just half of it. If we celebrated babies who participated in academic decathlons and built robots and pursued scientific inquiries that literally are saving lives. That's what opportunity is. So we can continue to do what has been done for as long as I've been alive, which is come into spaces like this and have these conversations, which can sometimes make you feel better. But I imagine if you're somebody like my mother, it would frustrate the shit out of you. Because the reality is that she right now is fighting some of the same battles in the same school system for my niece, her granddaughter, that she fought and won when I was in school. And the question is why? People often say there isn't a thing that's new under the sun. There are organizations like the Brotherhood Crusade, like the Urban League, like the NAACP, like Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, who have been doing phenomenal work in communities across this country for years. The question is, how do we continue to sustain those investments? How do we compel other people who are naturally not inclined to come into spaces like this to join in the effort? The answer is that we have to keep our babies first. If you do nothing else leaving this convening, I need you to ask 5 people who you know would not come to this event, who have children. Ask them one question, get ready to write it down. Do you believe that your child or children is capable of graduating from college? And those words are intentional. We spend too much time saying, oh, baby, you need to go to college. No, you need to graduate from college. And in fact, you can use my phrase, which is that you're obligated to. Now, if they say no, your response needs to be the following. Can I hold the belief for you until you can hold it for yourself? And then you have to do the work of figuring out what's required to help him or her or them understand the path that they need to take, right? There are ways to make this really clear. The First Lady right now has an initiative that is celebrating what a lot of students are doing across this country and participating in FAFSA completion night, our signing days, where you literally go in a library or a place where there are computers and help young children fill out the FAFSA. You can do the same thing when they apply to college. And you don't have to a point that was made on a previous panel, wait until they're in the 9th grade. You can do it when they are in elementary school. What I'm saying is that we have a responsibility to make it plain. Let me conclude with this. Yesterday I was in Nevada. I had the opportunity to help facilitate a session where young people literally developed a policy agenda, right? They sat in small tables, they had community discussions, and they made recommendations for what's required in order for them to feel 3 things: safe, engaged, and supported. Those 3 things are essentially critical. It is difficult to learn if you are in a space where you don't feel safe, where you don't feel engaged or what you're being exposed to is relevant, and you don't feel supported. And what those children asked for were 3 things that I think are relevant no matter where we are. 1, they asked for love. And these weren't kindergartners. These are high school kids who were saying, I need you to ask me who I'm going with, what I'm doing, where I'm going, and all this. Now here's the catch. They weren't extending that invitation to everybody because they want to first know that you care before they care what you know. So as the baby said, why is it that sometimes you don't get attention unless you're in an AP class or you're well below average? We need to pay attention to all of our babies, including those who sometimes get lost in the middle. The second thing they asked for was greater intentionality with communicating who they are and whose they are. I carry a backpack with me. Ayana, can you give me that backpack really quickly? I'm sorry. I carry a backpack with me. It's designed by a woman named Unique Jones, thank you, who has a campaign called Because of Them We Can. And one of my favorite things to do is to ask adults and kids to name the people on this backpack. I have never encountered anybody who's been able to answer all of them. Sad reality. And if an adult can't, if a teacher can't answer it, we shouldn't expect our babies to be able to answer it. But the point is, and this is especially true in Black History Month, that if you don't know whose you are and who you are, then people can take away and substitute your dreams. So we need to have tough conversations about race and class and sexuality and the things that make people uncomfortable. We need to do whatever it is that is going to make it so our babies feel, again, safe, engaged, and supported. The last thing is that we need to get out of the habit of not listening when they speak. So one of the toughest moments for me yesterday was when one of the babies was making a recommendation and she said, we need for the teachers to get out of their feelings, to come from behind the desk, to stop saying stupid things like, I don't care if you don't learn because I'm going to get paid anyway, and prove it. Prove it. And then one of the elders pushed back and said, well, when we marched in the 60s, we had a lot worse. And I said, okay, hold on, time out. We can't play oppression Olympics. Y'all laughing, but I'm serious, and I was pissed off about it. Because it's a natural reaction. It's to say, oh baby, it's okay. You don't know what it's like to have it bad. Wow. The reality is that our babies go through things right now that would break the average adult. Wow. The implications of living in prolonged poverty, toxic stress, and trauma. Some of y'all got in their feelings about Michael Brown. For some of those babies, that was the 9th friend they lost this school year long. I was in Miami with a young boy who on his prom day was giving me a tour of his aquaponics project. Most of y'all don't know what aquaponics is. Look it up, Google it. The boy was shot on the way to school in the beginning of the school year and was asked to show up every single day. Sometimes without the emotional and mental health support, he needed to reconcile what it meant to be shot on the way to school. What I'm saying is we need to get out of the way. We need to get beyond the need to come into rooms like this and listen to ourselves talk about what it was like when we were their age, and listen when they speak. There's no better expert to tell all of us what is required to get more Black kids into competitive institutions like USC than these babies. And I mean that with the utmost respect. So, in closing, I'm going to end where I began, which is in the spirit of all of our ancestors, thanking each of you for the work that you do. I know I said a lot. I'm thinking about Aunt Maya, who said, people will forget what you said, they'll forget what you did, but if you do it right, you never forget how that made you feel. I hope you feel uncomfortable, too, by something that I have said. And that if you do nothing else aside from asking 5 people that question, you think about opportunities to bring babies with you, to provide them seats at the tables that you sit at, even if it means giving up your own. There is again nothing that we can expend our time and energy on that is more worthy of our pursuits than finding a way to come into a room like this and have a different conversation than how to fix systems to save our babies. You have partners in Washington who understand the issues here, who are from Inglewood, who are committed to supporting this work and this endeavor. Know that it's not going to be easy. If it was, it would have already been done, but it's essential for us to get this right now. Thank you for continuing to do the work.